The perfect storm for me is journalism and rodeo. It's who I am. It's who I always have been. As a little girl, I jumped horses, I roped all the way through college, getting a journalism degree and a master's degree at Cal Poly. But for women like me who roped, most of us, our careers were over if we weren't a barrel racer. So I took my education. It's been a dream ride because there's no line between my career and my life. To see rodeo, the cowboy sport, evolve from when I was a little girl, working the chutes, sitting in the stands with, the moms and the grandmas, being the boys roping dummy back behind the chutes, to now these cowboys' daughters and sisters and mothers and wives backing in the box, running barrels, being center stage with their cowboy counterparts. It's a great day in rodeo. Barrel racing has always been very popular in every poll, or just listen to the crowd scream and cheer when the barrel race is on. Everybody runs to the fence to watch Cervi run barrels.
The Western industry has blessed my life more than I can ever say. I was raised in a rodeo family. My mom and dad both competed and went to the NFR, so I've been around horses and rodeo my whole life. I high school rodeoed, I did all events, I roped and I tied goats and did everything, but barrel racing was my passion. Graduated high school and was going to college, and Sir Double Delight came into our lives. And that horse, he was really quirky, but he was an amazing athlete. I didn't have very much money, and we started going to rodeos. I was 18 and had a Cinderella summer, just went to winning everything. And I was trying to go to college, and I begged my dad to let me quit and just try to make the NFR one time. And so I did. So in '95, I did have the #1 back number, and at that point, only Charmaine James had ever done that before.
NFR back numbers are handed out based on earnings. So to see women like Sherry Cervi pin that #1 back number on their backs, that's nothing short of badass.
In 2009, I made the finals on Stingray. She was 7. So that was a really cool kind of milestone in my life because we had bred, raised her, and I had trained her. I went on to 2010 and I had an unbelievable year. Won a bunch of big rodeos on her, and I ended up winning the world championship on her. That mare has blessed our family beyond measures. I retired her when she was 17. I won a 4th gold buckle on her in 2013, and I placed in all 10 go-rounds on her, won the average, won the Top Gun truck. They give it at the NFR for the person that wins the most money at the NFR, and Stingray did that.
The level of women's competition in rodeo is doing nothing but booming. And that goes for behind the scenes and behind the chutes also. Case in point, Kirsten Bolt.
It was a lot easier for me to break into a male-dominated field than probably other females, just because I was raised in the business. I was around all the time. People were used to seeing me. The cowboys were used to seeing me here, so it wasn't as strange or out of place as probably would have been for other females. My dad started this rodeo company, Harryvold Rodeo Company, up in Canada, and then brought it down to the States. I got my degree in mass communications and public relations. Spent 6 months after graduation working for a company called Rodeo America, and I did their sports apparel marketing. And about 6 months into that, my dad was contemplating selling, and so at that point, I couldn't imagine anybody else owning these horses and stuff. I thought that was a part of our lives. So it gave me the opportunity to come home and start taking over more day-to-day roles. He passed away in 2017, and I became more of a sole proprietor at that point. And then as time progresses, you get more and more attached, and the animals is, they're what pull you in. When you're there at the conception, you decide what mares go on what studs. Then when the colts hit the ground, and then you're there when you wean them. The handful of them that become superstars, and you're at their first NFR. It's a good life. I would say for any females that feel like they want to go into the rodeo business, you know, you just got to be tough. And you can do anything that you want to do. It's going to take hard work. You just got to put the time in. And if you put the time in, nobody can stop you from what you want to achieve.
When I see young women, you know, the Madison Uthiers and the Josie Connors, you know, they're working at their breakaway roping from a really young age, and we thought we were good. These girls are amazing, and they're following the lead of the Larry D. Guys and the Jackie Crawfords and the J.J. Hamptons. There's no more fierce competitor than Larry D. Guy. Ultimately, this boom of the sport, she's the wind beneath it.
I grew up on a ranch in Abilene, Texas, and my brother was an NFR calf roper. My dad roped calves and team roped, and that's who taught my brother and I how to rope. My mom was a barrel racer, and I ran barrels when I was younger, and really enjoyed running barrels. You know, roping was kind of my passion, and I just grew up as far as back as I can remember. I always had a rope in my hand, whether we were rounding up cattle. Probably at the age of 4 or 5 years old, I was, you know, trying to rope them as we were pinning them. My brother made the finals in 1993, and I can remember being there watching him thinking that, you know, hopefully one day us breakaway ropers will be able to do the same thing. I wanted Breakaway to be on the big stage. You know, roping has been big for a long time with women. It's just people didn't notice it. I think the first world title given to a WPRA, or back then it was called GRA calf roper, was Betty Dusick, probably in 48 or 49. I think Breakaway come around, you know, a little later. It was probably in the early 70s, and I think there was a lady named Becky Berggren that won the first world title in the Breakaway. Looking back, it's pretty cool to see that we're out here, you know, and that we're getting to perform on some of the biggest stages. Breakaway roping's growing every single day, and there's so many great young girls out there that I can't wait to see, you know, those girls continue on and keep growing the sport and keep, you know, keeping that torch lit and keeping it going.
So in 2018, the WCRA was the trendsetter, the one that stepped to the front, center stage, equal money for women breakaway ropers. We were in Chicago, and that place was packed. $50,000, Jackie Crawford wins it. She goes to get her big check in the arena in front of the bucking chutes, carrying her little boy Creed. It was such a moment. They say every little boy grows up wanting to be a cowboy. Well, it's pretty fun to see a lot of little girls looking up to these superstar women and wanting to be cowgirls. That speaks volumes of where women's rodeo is headed, and the best is yet to come.